Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Tecnico di Milano in Italy and the University of Alabama, car number 5, Polymove. Results, these were the 6 teams that had qualified to take part in the competition. 2 of the 8 teams that were here couldn't quite check all of those boxes. We'll talk more about them as the show progresses. As you can see, AI Racing Tech not with a representative lap time due to those gearbox issues. This is what it leaves us with here, as mentioned, the brackets. So mid-pit RW at the top of the screen will move on. They will face the top seed Polymove, which reached a top speed in those single-car runs of 180 miles per hour, an average speed of around 165. And I think we all remember the phenomenal final that we saw 1 year ago featuring Polymove and TUM, the 2 teams that have developed a bit of a rivalry over the course of the past 2 years or so. Let's learn a little bit more about these 2 teams that have emerged as the top 2 within the Autonomous Challenge.
I think the Indy Autonomous Challenge is really at the forefront of autonomous driving. We are pushing the limits at high-speed, multi-vehicle driving without any vehicle-to-vehicle communication.
It's very important that we can repeat this test in a safe environment without hurting anybody. There's no pilot, there's no driver in the car. So, well, last year was amazing. It was a very nice final round. Very head-to-head and challenging competition with our German friends. I like this dual thing in collaboration till the race day, but race day is race day. So it's gonna be a challenging and super tough competition between whoever is gonna be on track.
When the flag is green, for sure, we're rivals. Everybody wants to win. And for sure, we are looking for getting the crown of autonomous motorsport back to Munich.
Is back moving and now down on the apron, making its way to the pit lane. This team has been groundbreaking in a number of different areas. We talked about the land speed record attempt earlier, but something else that they're working on that's very, very interesting is utilizing augmented reality. And this is still very early on in what they're attempting to do, but this is using a ghost car, essentially. So if you're used to racing video games, this is pretty common for you. It's testing here to see, okay, how is our car doing relative to some data that perhaps they got from another team? The next step is trying to find ways for the car to recognize the ghost car, make decisions off of that, and then what their ultimate goal for this technology is, and I think this is fascinating, is to be able to have a ghost car driven by somebody or something remotely, a simulator, for instance, like a sim racing rig, to have a ghost car that could take part on track with a real-life car that then would be recognized by that real-life car, and you could almost have this competition between somebody driving on a sim and an autonomous vehicle driving on a track completely separate, perhaps on different corners of the globe.
It's an outstanding initiative that they've taken part of.
Of the 2, the Polymove move appears to be the safer. TUM, very aggressive, looking to get alongside. There's not much more than a foot between them, but TUM is able to complete the pass.
Yeah, you can see the car get really close, and it went up the track. It recognized it quickly, got into the dirt a little bit, but it seems like it held traction no problem and made the pass. We'll have to see if race control sees any issue there. I hope they let that one go, because it looks like it was a relatively clean pass, and as these speeds get up, that's just the way it's going to go, because the car has a narrower window where it can actually run and maintain traction.
My question is, does TUM have the ability to make a pass anywhere but the front straightaway? Because again, as the speed comes up, the risk goes up. Let's look at it again. Just how close did these 2 come to making contact?
Yeah, and it looks like both cars have slowed down here. It looked like it was less than a foot or so, or maybe they even made some.
Well, that becomes the question. That looks clean, but that's about as close of a passing maneuver as we have seen in the history of the Indy Autonomous Challenge.
They've been passing on the high side down into 1 and 2. Let's see if they might do it this time, or if they try to do it next time. Looks like they're going to the high side right now to try to make the pass. So it's going to be a little harder at this speed.
TUM about a car width off the white line at the inside, forcing Polymove up the track, but Polymove undeterred, able to complete the pass. Now will slot down in front, and the roles will reverse. Can TUM make this work again? It was mighty close the last time at 135 miles per hour.
You can see the TUM vehicle right there. Actually, it looked like it took a little bit of an evasive maneuver when the Polymove car went around them, so that front car does actually need to do that. And here they go. It looks like they're going for another pass. It's going to be a tight one.
Typically, it's been done by this point by the TUM team. Any questions about whether or not they can make the pass on the outside, I think they've been answered. You could tell not many cars have run up in that section of the track with all the dust coming off of that car, but TUM able to complete the pass, and next we move to 150 miles per hour.
Yeah, they got into that dust. I really thought they were going to be in the wall there. That's really not the place you want to be. You know, these cars generally run lower, and it kind of keeps that lower part of the track clean. And up there, they could sometimes call that the marbles, where some of the rubber from the tires will sit there, and it's like driving in the marbles. But the car's stuck, and we'll see. But boy, I'm not sure how much higher speed they're going to be able to do that.
Well, this is about as far as we got 1 year ago, 150 miles per hour or so. Waiting for confirmation about whether or not the green was given. Polymove certainly thinks it was. At 155 around the outside, Polymove reaching speeds of 175 to complete that pass.
Yeah, and again, made that one look easy up on that high side. And then you see TUM again kind of pull down in the middle of the back straightaway. So they are still holding the same line they've been doing the whole time. Target speed's up at 155 here.
Pass complete, so TUM now will go on the attack. Polymove holding right around 155, just a shade over. The TUM team just narrowly escaping disaster on each of its last two passing attempts.
Yep. And in each attempt, that throttle plate is a little bit more over here. They're Polymove at full throttle right there. So they really are pushing it.
But Polymove did slow down in the corner. This could be the strategy you were talking about. We're getting word that this is still a formation lap. The run has not begun. Successfully completed the pass at this speed. So now it comes down to 2 laps once the green is given for TUM to stay alive in the competition.
Yeah, and Polymove really on top of it.
How much risk are these teams willing to take? The world's most advanced, fastest, and most expensive autonomous race cars, valued at $1 million plus a piece. This is for all the marbles, though.
Really looking forward to see if TUM tries to make that pass again on the high side, or if their algorithm maybe tries to look for a little bit safer spot to make the pass when the speeds get higher, because they were really close to that wall and up in that dirtier part of the track.
See on the telemetry, TUM up to 170 miles per hour to try and get back in position. The green has been given, as you can see. So 2 laps from here for TUM to make the pass, or Polymove will win its 2nd consecutive title at the Autonomous Challenge at CES. Correction, next lap will be the green flag.
And, about 3/4 throttle there for TUM. And Polymove kind of medium throttle, so you can see here when that throttle bar gets to full, which is what Polymove is at right now. These cars are really getting up toward the limit of what they can do, so it might even be hard for TUM to even catch them here. We'll see what happens.
The run, it should now be on. Polymove on the defense, needs to hold 155 miles per hour. TUM Autonomous Motorsport has come perilously close to disaster at the last 2 speed thresholds, but has been able to thread that needle. Here they come to the outside, up in the gray stuff, and around they go. TUM spins, and Polymove backs up its championship at CES 1 year ago with another title in 2023.
Wow, it was an amazing result. You could kind of see that coming. They just looked like they lost the back end and spun around, and it looked like they weren't even going to hit anything in the process, so they really escaped pretty much unscathed there. Maybe just the front wing is damaged a little bit, but ultimately they aren't going to be the winner here today, but boy, they put on a great challenge.
Fantastic competition between Polymove and TUM, but ultimately for the 2nd straight year, it's Polymove that comes home with the crown. Politecnico di Milano in Italy, in conjunction with the University of Alabama, champions at CES last year, the winners at Texas as well. That is a 3-competition win streak now for this squad.
Yeah, and we heard from their students this morning on the pit road that they had learned the word three-peat, and I think now they really know what it means, so this is great for them. They certainly are deserving. They've been a great team, throughout, just super detail-oriented, and that's really what they needed to win this today. And excited for them, really.
Here's a look again at the crucial moment. TUM up in the gray, gets up in the marbles, and around they go, averting disaster. Did make right side contact, but at 170 plus miles per hour, that's about as easy as you'll ever get off with an accident on a high-speed oval.
That was the lowest cost high-speed crash in a corner I've ever seen, so I think they did it. I don't know if that was intentional, but whatever happened there, they were able to stay off the wall, thankfully, right, because that would have been a major impact. And what a great result for Polymove. Did a great job.
Fantastic result. Second place again for this TUM team. They won at Indianapolis. They've been knocking at the door of another title in several of these competitions, but have not yet been able to back up that result at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In the meantime, the word has come down officially from Race Control. This is the championship winning car at the Autonomous Challenge at CES. Polymove backs it up, a three-peat, if you will, for the Italian and Alabamian team. Remarkable run of performance from this squad. Also, the world land record speed holders for autonomous vehicles. They're starting to rack up the accolades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Word of the day for Polymove was three-peat. It was elusive, but now, Brandon Dixon, it's happened. What are the emotions of this team having finally accomplished that?
Well, I'm so proud of this team. They've worked so hard. These guys are absolute rock stars at what they do. I couldn't be happier. I think watching it, seeing it live, it was exhilarating. It was a terrific finish to this competition. Some really high-speed passing, some race strategy that played in, and seeing these cars sort of try to figure out how to work their way past and execute a pass at 170 plus miles an hour. It was really terrific.
Congratulations, 3 times a winner.
Thank you so much.
Polymove, Shea is down in victory circle.
Well, how about that for a final, ladies and gentlemen? How about a round of applause for both of these teams?
First of all, I want to thank CES for partnering with us on this tremendous event. I want to thank our premier sponsors, Aspire, Luminar, and Cisco. I also want to give a special thanks to the state of Indiana, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, that helped get this little idea of the Indy Autonomous Challenge started and launched. And of course, the stars of this show are always our teams, not just these 2 teams that made it to the finals, but they're all of the teams. They all put all of their lives on hold to compete in these competitions. We saw some great rounds of competition today from teams that are clearly getting better. But the star of the show today is once again Team Polymove from the Polytechnic of Milan and University of Alabama. And so I would like to present the winning team with our Indy Autonomous Challenge at CES trophy. To the edge. It's to advance technology to help make autonomous vehicles safer, to save lives, to improve the world. And each race that we make, each competition that we go through gets increasingly harder in that mission. As some of you heard, we're going to be taking the show on the road, going to Monza. It's a new challenge to move to road courses from ovals, but we look forward to being back here at CES next year again. Congratulations to Polymove. Congratulations to TUM. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Fantastic competition, deserving champions as well. The three-peat now for Polymove. Rob, before we wrap things up, your final thoughts on what we saw and what it portends for the future.
Well, the students summed it up well there in Victory Lane. You know, these cars were interacting with each other on the track. This was actually a harder competition than a year ago because the car in front could really do almost anything it wanted. And they did a great job. We saw the speeds really back up to where they were last year in a significantly harder competition. And so these teams have really stepped it up, and it's great to see them. And they deserve to be celebrating in Victory Lane right now. Great job by them.
Great job indeed. That's a wrap for us here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. For Shea and Rob, our entire crew, my name is Ryan Marine. So long. Congratulations to Politecnico di Milano and the University of Alabama. Polymove champions for the second straight year of the Autonomous Challenge at CES.